Here's a weird prediction. If you understand the brain, you can see the future. When people talk about what's next, AI, climate, virtual worlds, important, for sure. But there's a quieter force shaping everything we build, choose, become. The human brain. I'm not just talking neuroscience trivia. I mean practical, everyday power, such as the brain's ability to think, decide, learn, collaborate, and create. Most of us spend way more time learning apps than learning our own minds. That's backwards. Here's the big idea. The future belongs to people and societies who learn to use their brains on purpose. Why don't we talk about this more? For a long time, it felt uncomfortable. We liked the idea that humans were guided by something mysterious and separate from biology. But science kept poking holes in that. Love, faith, sacrifice, creativity, turns out they all have deep roots in brain processes. And the human brain? It's not an alien artifact. It evolved, layer by layer, sharing a surprising amount with other animals. Some people hear that and feel threatened. However, understanding the brain doesn't shrink our humanity, it expands it. Because once we see how our brain works, we can train it, we can design it, we can steer. Here's a quick historic tour of our long obsession with the brain. Ancient Egyptians documented head injuries causing lost speech and seizures. Hippocrates suggested the brain drives behavior. The Renaissance cracked open anatomy. Then the 19th century gave us neurons, tiny cells talking in electrical whispers. Suddenly, the brain wasn't a mushy mystery. It was a network, billions of cells, trillions of connections. Fast forward, we're building artificial systems inspired by those networks. Neural nets, transformers, the AI boom. These are echoes of brain ideas. And yet most of us still run on outdated mental models. Here's the real opportunity. The world is shifting from who knows the most facts to who adapts the fastest. From memorize to synthesize, from solo genius to high-trust collaboration. That's not a software update, it's a brain update. So what do you actually do? 3 moves. First, metacognition, thinking about your thinking. Once a day, ask, what am I optimizing for? Focus, exploration, connection? Then line up your brain state to match. For example, when optimizing for deep work, you can take optimal actions like reducing noise, time blocking, and setting a single clear target. The brain loves clarity. Second, stress calibration. Your brain performs best at medium arousal, not sleepy, not panicked. You can use breath to steer, take a long exhale to calm, or take a brisk walk to activate. It's like a volume knob for your nervous system. Third, emotional labeling. Name it to tame it. Saying you feel anxious shifts activity in the brain and gives you a handle. Then ask, what's the useful signal here? Emotions are data, not dictators. Here's a bonus action. Deliberate novelty. New skills, new people, new patterns. Novelty sparks plasticity. And it scales. Teams that understand attention, memory limits, feedback loops, collaborate better. Schools that teach kids how learning actually rewires the brain create confident learners. Companies that design for human cognition, fewer context switches, clearer goals, real recovery, outperform. Here's the punchline. The future won't just belong to people with knowledge. It will belong to people who become masters of their brains. So start simple. Today, pick one moment to steer your mind on purpose. Choose your state, label your emotion, set a crisp target, then do one small focused thing. Because once you understand how your brain works, you don't just predict the future, you participate in building it. If this clicked, try it for a week and tell us what changed. Your brain is listening.